Mayano, welcome back to Backstory, one of my favourite parts of the program where we delve into the lives of our politicians and get to know them a little as people. This week we spent time with ACT MP Chhour at the Bayview Community Centre, where she spent some of the best and worst times of her life. Here is her backstory.
So this is the centre of Bayview on the North Shore, and it's my yin-yang spot. It's where I have some of the worst memories in my life, but some of the best memories as well. So I was born in a town called Albury in New South Wales. Never been there since I've come to New Zealand, and I came when I was about 1. I ended up living with my grandma and my granddad in Chhour. I had grandparents that really cared for me, and so I think that was a real good for me, because it taught me from the very beginning what it's like to be loved. I came to Auckland when I had to start school and went to live with my mum. She was getting married to her husband at the time, and so I had a stepdad and a mother that just got married, and so it was kind of a big change, I guess, for me and for her. I didn't really know who she was. I remember my grandmother telling me a story about how she showed up when I was about 2.5 with presents and walked in and said hello, and I said, "Who are you?" It's kind of tough going and living with someone you don't really know. There was things going on behind closed doors that were well hidden. A lot of things were taken out on me. There was a lot of abuse going on, physical and mental, yeah. And although I would never wish that on anybody, it's kind of shaped me to be strong, to deal with the hard knocks. I think I've got a bit more resilience than most. The first time I ran away, the very first time, I took my little sisters with me, because I was actually looking after them that day. And we walked and walked and walked and walked for miles, and I showed up at a friend's house with my 2 little sisters hand in hand, and told them what was going on, and they took me to some office where I talked to some people, and then next minute I know I'm getting stuck in a car and sent back there, and wondering why nobody would listen to my fears and what I was concerned about, and sent me back to a house where I just really didn't feel safe. I don't think there's quite a word that can describe it. Probably despair. It's kind of a numb feeling, like I tried. When you get to that stage where you do feel numb and you've got no feelings, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're not angry, you're just nothing. At one stage I did attempt to end my life. And I thought, oh, this will be easy. Not so much. Yeah, but I mean, when that didn't work, I think it was somebody watching out for me. and I like to think it's because I had a purpose. I was sent to live with an auntie up north. I think they must have had a family group conference from what I've been told. The social worker basically said, none of your family actually want you. We can't find anywhere for you to go. But there's an auntie that's kind of willing. And that hurt. That hurt, being told, you know, no, nobody wants you. I did ask to go live with my grandma again, but they kind of said she can't cope with you. It's too much for her. You know, and I really hated my grandmother for that. So for a long time I didn't speak to her, because I wanted to know why she didn't want me. But years later, when I rebuilt that relationship, we actually had a conversation, and she said to me, I actually begged to have you, but I was told I was too old. And I have a bit of resentment to that relationship. I lost years of a relationship with somebody that I absolutely love now, and wish I could still have her around now. I'm really lucky that I have a husband that is patient and stuck by me through the hard times and the good times. We knew each other in intermediate. We met when I was about 11. He was my cooking partner in intermediate, and he cooks better than I do. And having somebody that wouldn't leave, because I remember telling him, there's no point in us dating because everyone ends up hating me. And tried to push him away a lot, but he just wouldn't allow that to happen, and he's still here. I mean, didn't feel like I deserved somebody who cared. And I think that's destructive behaviour is quite common. We got married on March the 16th, 21 years ago. And the hall we're actually here today is the hall I had my reception in. I've got my oldest, Zach. He's 23. He's finished university, and my second one down is just about to turn 21. And I've also got a daughter that's in her last year of college, and one that's just started her first year at intermediate. They're really good kids, and I'm really proud of them. And I've tried to break that cycle of treat them how I wanted to be treated in the years to come. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought a few years prior that I'd be doing something like this. I thought, no, I'm going to give this a go. I don't like to be told just because I'm of Māori heritage that I should think one way, and if I'm not, I'm a traitor to my race. And I get that a lot. So I'm hoping eventually when people see my journey and see what I'm actually trying to achieve, and when I do achieve those goals, that there was a reason behind the things I'm saying and doing. My journey means something, and if I can use that to help others, maybe this was my purpose that day. If that makes sense, the day that I could have been gone from this world and somebody decided, no, it's not your time. And maybe this is my purpose and why somebody looked out for me that day.
So you can help.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, and I'm grateful for it.